future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
Janelle, celebrity vocal coach right here, and I am a part of Give It Life.
And ratchet,
and real extra ratchet, raunchy ladies.
That'll be everywhere, like.
What we got coming up? Other shops is upstairs, so we down here by also, man. This guy, he can walk off the set. We leave that up to Vito.
So what's the point that it is? So your body can't
Jordan,
it's really a chemical imbalance that happens. Your brain, your endorphins, your brain, it really is what causes it Yeah, I'm gonna let you explain this shit. It's too much. No, that. No, that. But just, I know it is. At what point does it become an obsession? That's what I want to say.
When you don't lack emotional intelligence.
Hey, everybody. So today is a much calmer show than last week. So I'm going to talk about what we originally wanted to talk about. I have some guests, but they're going to speak. They don't want to be seen. They want to be heard. That's all they want to be doing, which is no problem. But we're going to talk about today, which is really interesting. And I thought I'm going to get straight into it because I'm so interested in this topic. I am so excited in a way where, because it really is interesting. So I can't wait for the replay for people to watch it when people are coming on right now if they're looking at it. So we're going to talk about the effects of breakup, because a lot of people, when you break up with somebody, they literally just tell you, get over it. Like everybody's like, oh, just get over it. Even if he did something to you or her, if they did something to you, they literally just say to you, they cheated on you, get over it. Or they no good, so it's no big deal. But secretly, I've talked to people secretly, they put this face on like, oh, it's easy. Yeah, I'm not, it's okay. We broke up. I'm fine. But when they're by themselves, I watch people speak to me about the fact that what they do is they check their Instagram every day. They check their Facebook page. They're looking, and not looking for them, but they're looking at what they're doing. They wake up and they're still thinking about them. They are still, things keep triggering things. And they're pretending like it's easy, but it's really hard to break up. And no one's letting them talk about it because people act like when you break up with somebody, like literally, if you love somebody, the next day they did something, you're like, oh, I hate him. You say that, but you like, we broke up. Everybody's expecting that you're over it. And so I had to do some research. I had to bring in some people that I know that actually studied this. And according to the, research, according to, speaking to different people that actually study the science of how you feel, basically, therapy, speaking to some therapists, speaking to that, but there's actual studies that tell you that when you break up with someone, it's not just a physical thing. I mean, just physical and mental. It's a real mental thing. There's a connection between the heart. I think that people don't know that people actually can die from heartbreak. Like we hear it in a tragic sense, but also we watch shows and we think of it as funny, or we're watching something, but there's really a concept when people say people snap. That's real. Like there's a real thing when someone actually snaps about breaking up with somebody or doing something, or also from heartbreak. You'll hear where a couple has been together for years and the first person dies, then later, a week later, the husband dies or the wife dies. Or you hear of someone's child, something happened to them, and you'll hear something where they had a heart attack or something happened and they broke from heartbreak. So it made me start thinking about something. Can someone literally be tormented about a breakup? Can someone really be mentally or physically ill because this relationship ended? So we're going to give you, right now, I'm going to have Holly come in. I know she don't want to be seen, so we're going to listen. You got to come closer, Holly, so everybody can hear. And let her explain some scientific things about what the body does in a breakup. And Al, could you make sure, I want to make sure that everyone can hear Holly really good. So I just want to make sure.
I don't mind being seen.
Oh, you don't? Okay, good. Come on over a little bit. Nobody cares about that t-shirt. Just come up here. You know what? Move this over here. Just move that down and sit right here so you can just see your face.
Okay.
Perfect. Just put that on the floor. Wait a minute. Let me get my drink, y'all, because it's going to be good. I want y'all to know. Look at this. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on.
Well, so...
Oh, wow. This is good. Hold on. Let me tell them what this is. This is Black Girl Magic. Black company. Hold on. Okay. Before we get started, let's get serious. All right, Holly, let's go over here. I want it on you. There you go. So explain to them that you did a study, who you are in that sense. You've been on here before, but they didn't even know this part. We were talking and kicking, but for real. Go ahead. Just let them know.
Well, I studied the positive psychology and a few other things in undergrad and also in grad school around addiction behaviors. And the brain itself can't really delineate between when something makes you happy, when something makes you feel good, whether it's a drug, whether it's an individual, whether it's an activity, whether it's a thing, that's how your brain connects to the happiness factor. And your brain wants that. Right. Your body wants that. Your body craves those endorphins. So with that, it could be a person. So whenever that person hugs you, touches you, sends you a text message, you talk on the phone, your brain is connecting. This makes me feel good. I want more of it.
Wait 1 second. I love how you said that. I want everyone to hear that. It even happens through sending a text message.
Yeah.
So, because we don't think about that. We think everything is a physical thing. But the connection in your brain is even through. And that makes sense because if you ever think about when you're in a relationship and someone texts you, like if they were mad, if you're arguing, okay, we're sharing. If you're arguing, if you think about it, let's be realistic. We all had relationships before. But if you think about if you're arguing with somebody and then they text you, you ever as a woman, I mean, it happens as men too, but more so in women, because I feel like we're more emotional. I feel like, I'll step in this way. I feel like, do you remember when the person texts you, you got happy?
Immediately.
You immediately felt better.
Just
you
like
were arguing, you're like, oh my God, it's like a high.
Just like a drug.
And it's like it's really crazy because
it's the same.
I do remember like, oh my God, he texted me. I feel better.
Your brain can't say, oh, this is a drug or this is a activity. Your brain does not know that. Your body knows it's a drug because of the effects and the impact. But your brain, the connection of that high is the same connection that you have with another human being. It's the same high. So your body can't say, oh, I don't like this high because your brain can't say to itself, I don't like this high.
Hi, gatekeeper. This is an interesting topic. I hope you are listening to this. This is really interesting.
And so that's why you get that immediate gratification from that text. That's why you get that immediate gratification when that person calls you once there's a big breakup or you feeling those levels of heartbreak, because your body wants that feeling, that emotion. It's really mental that connects to your emotional. When it gets obsessive is when it's a whole nother conversation.
So this is what's interesting to me.
You can train yourself to get over a breakup. That's the one thing.
Okay, we need to talk about that in the training.
It's a training.
The training part. Okay, guys, I'm just going to say we need to talk about the training. 30 days? Is that what it is?
It can take longer, but it can train your brain on stop connecting that person to happiness. There's different activities that you can do.
So we're going to definitely go over that.
Thoughts.
Okay, what's going on here?
Thoughts connected to that person.
What's up? Okay, so 30 days.
It's at a minimum.
At a minimum. So basically what we're talking about, what I thought was interesting is this, because we've all been in intense relationships. Mm-hmm. And so that's where I wanted to get some background on that part. So I also know about it, but I'm just saying we've been in intense relationships. So what's interesting to me is where it gets interesting, because you have the part where you're in an intense relationship and you know it's hard for a breakup, you cry about it. You're saying it should take about 30 days.
Well,
at minimum. But I'm saying where it gets dangerous is, when do we turn? Do you think, I'm just having your opinion, not even on a professional opinion, when do you think, does this love turn to lust turn to obsession, or does it go backwards? Do you think they have a small, like a thin line, like how they say thin line between love and hate? What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's about you have an emotional intelligence, and then when people have that ability to, when it becomes compulsive, and that can happen with anything, right? Mm-hmm. Eating, alcohol,
eating, drugs, yes. Shopping,
right?
I love to shop when I'm upset.
Anything. So it's about really controlling your behavior, and you can't really determine if and when somebody's really gonna go to that compulsive level.
So the quick question,
and really monitoring your thought process and being intentional with the change.
So interesting enough, why is it, do you feel that with certain people the connection is deeper? Do you understand like the obsession? Do you think you know what I'm saying? Like you'll meet a person and you have a connection, and then you meet a person and it's like, I call it the twin flame syndrome. Yeah. And here's the thing.
That scientifically I can't.
You can't do it. But this is my department. Here I come. I'm going to help you guys out. Okay, so I'm going to help you guys.
I can't explain behind why just certain people, it just clicks.
Hey, Riz.
It's just a click.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. I call that, because a lot of people say soulmates. And I'm going to explain this. There's a difference between soulmates and twin flame mates. So here's the basic difference in that. Soulmates is like relationship material. You think you met your soulmate. You want to, y'all click and all this. Twin flames, two people who meet and it's fire in the bedroom. No good for each other. But fire in the whole entire relationship is connection is based on the bedroom action.
That's different.
That's a twin flame. Mm-hmm. You are my twin, like when person, that's a twin flame. So people want to know I'm sorry about that. Yeah. I hope you guys can still hear me. Okay. So, Al, I hope everybody can hear me. If you can't, let me know. I hope so. I hope so. Okay. I don't know. I don't know why people keep doing this to me, and I should be better because I should be doing it on my laptop. But y'all got to excuse me. Bad habits. See bad habits? That's what I'm saying. All right. So when we're talking about this, it is. I got bad habits sometimes. The twin flame is that person you have that connection. And I'm only interested in this because I have been watching some shows and people really go nuts. Like, and I'm not going to say in a negative way, but I've watched people. You ever see a person when they have different girlfriends, and this man will go crazy. Mm-hmm. He literally wants to slap the shit out of her, that's abusive, right? Mm-hmm. But he with the next girl, he's not, it's like that person doesn't hit the button. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what is going on? Hold on, let me see this. Is that enough to keep them together?
No.
Oh, the sex?
No.
That's a really good question. Eventually, here's the funny thing. Eventually, they will part, but I think it's actually harder to break up with a twin flame than it is the regular relationship, because I think sex is such a endorphin, because you have to understand when you have sex you release chemicals,
Yeah, the oxytocin.
and it can make someone addicted to that person even though that person is no good for them.
But
they
if
cheated
people
on them.
understand the impact of oxytocin and can control that, that's where you can actually get out of the sex. You actually have to train your mind like, no, this is the oxytocin, this is not what I really feel. I'm sexually addicted because of the oxytocin, the same thing that's released through childbirth, the same thing. That's why we go crazy over these kids. The same thing that's released when you're breastfeeding. It's the same chemical. Yes. So that chemical is so powerful that, especially with women, that's why we're a little bit more emotionally attached.
We're a little bit more crazy. And it's funny because I heard that some people really enjoy breastfeeding because they like the feeling.
Yeah.
And it's the letdown. It's what you're saying. But personally, me, I never did. I did it because it's good for the baby.
I did it for almost 3 years.
You're crazy.
I loved it.
I don't understand that. No one's sucking on my tit for 3 years unless you're a grown ass man. Okay, that's it. Like that's all I'm saying, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want nobody to do it.
And then I got judged.
No, you know what I did? I expressed it into a bottle. I couldn't deal.
That hurt.
Okay, what is this? So what happens during bad sex? No, gatekeeper. You're not even lying. Let me tell you something about bad sex.
That's adverse. You ever have you vomit or something?
Bad sex is very hard to deal with.
You never want that food again.
It's very hard to deal with. So this is but here's the craziest thing. There could be a really good person for you, and the sex is not great. Your mind you have to really think this through. You have to really like them. You have to think this through. This is why you guys want to ask why women want to be up with the fucked up guy, the guy that's in the streets, the one that got all the kids and cheated, and you try to figure out why the hell is she still chasing after him? It's because he's breaking down her back. This is the problem. She got to get control.
Yes.
She got to get control and say, what is wrong with me? Shake yourself and say, he is no good. But her vagina's like, give me that dick.
And the oxytocin,
bring that dick over here.
It's the brain. It's the oxytocin that takes over.
I can go for the breast milk right now. I'm done. That has got to be Wiz. Only Wiz would say I can go for the breast milk right now. That is, I thought that was always weird. I was married when I had my kids, and I would think that is so weird if somebody went about breast. That's disgusting. Mm-hmm. But that's just me. Whatever. Okay, you guys are weird. Yes. that's whatever. Hold on. What are we saying here? Yes, that's Wiz. I knew that was Wiz. Only Wiz would want breast milk. Him and Chucky. He's weird as hell. Look what the hell. Hold on. Can you fix bad sex?
Yeah.
Gatekeeper. Okay, yeah, I like that answer. I think if you really set your mind to it and the person is open, you can fix bad sex. I don't think you can fix bad sex if the person that you're having bad sex with is pretending that they know that their sex is good and you can't tell them that I'm not being pleased. So if you have a person that's honest and say, hey, you know what? I really like you. I really care about you. I love you, or whatever the case may be. And they know what can we do to make this a little bit better? Then I think there's a chance. But when you got someone that you can't tell the truth to, because you will hurt their feelings in the sense that they won't even they'll have an issue with you, then you're holding back and you can't do anything. That's when you'll keep going, and I think there'll be resentment built. So I think that it's really up to the two people. If they can really communicate and tell the truth to each other and say, hey, there's a couple of things that I need you to do. Let's try these things. I think that you have a chance to fix bad sex. But if you can't communicate with that person and you feel like you're going to step on their ego or they're going to get mad and everything, so you can't really say anything, I think then it's lost. I think that it won't work, because I think, and also here's the other thing, very important to me. So let's just say this. I'm going to use like an example. What if I sometimes I like rough sex, or I want you to choke me a little bit or curse at me in sex, or, be like, yeah, this is my pussy type of thing, right? But then I'm with a man that he's from the church. He's like, I'm never going to curse at you. I can never wrap my hand around your neck. I'm never bringing toys. Then you got a problem, because I like something and I'm telling you I like something, and you said there's no way you can do it. Here's the wall. You hit a brick wall, and I don't know what you can do. Hold on. Oh, because I've been just selling blue chews and getting this money. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. So you selling the all that does is keep your penis hard. Just because your penis hard don't mean that you know how to use it. So I need you to know how to work your penis. And that is technique. This is where I come into play. Like I said, there's 11 ways for a woman to have an orgasm. So find one.
Ooh, 11?
There's 11 different ways. And so if she's not stimulated through the clit, then do the G-spot. If she's not doing the G-spot, hit the anal. If she's not that way, you're going to have to try the ways till you find it. And I think one of the things I want a lot of guys to listen to is there is something. I've talked to a lot of women, not all, but most of them. And I'm going to say most because there's always exceptions to the rule. Most love a man, even if he's a timid man, like in the public, but they love a man that wants to take control in the bedroom. A lot of women, even if they do the direction, sometimes they don't want to do the direction. So sometimes you need to take charge. Like, go ahead and press that button and be like, you know what, today, let me tie her up and see what the hell's going on. Bring something, like get that. Even if you're not an aggressive person, dig deep and just say, you can still do it in a romantic way, in a softer way. Just say, this is what we're going to do. Put this on. Wear some heels. Even that. Hey, babe, I like those red heels that I bought. I like those. I want to see them up in the air. She's going to be like, oh, okay. Let me tell you. If she can't get her legs up in the air all the way, she will practice. If you say, I like the legs wider, this woman's going to start stretching all week to say, let me push them wider. You like, widen them. I want to get all up in there. Say, communicate what you want, but do it in a little bit more. Don't be like, I like your legs a little wider. No. Say, I need them legs wide so I can get in there. She likes that. Show a little control. And it goes both ways because women, I'm not going to just hop on the men. Women, what I need you to do is, complaints from men is, you don't initiate sex. Stop asking, stop waiting for the man all the time to say, can I get some tonight? He's begging at that point. They don't like that. Can I get some? Can I get some? How about you call him up and tell him, babe, when you get home, take care of this pussy tonight. He wants to hear he's wanted just as much as you want him to take control. So we need to start paying attention to that, but like I said, if you're doing these things, I don't want to get too far off a topic because we're talking about breaking up. And the thing about breaking up is I'm very curious about when does it become an obsession? Like when a person can't get over the breakup. So when they start cop blocking you, they start calling you. They see you with somebody, they start saying stuff, like they start, just being messy.
And calling back to back to back to back to back is obsessive.
Yeah, it is. I mean, have you ever had anyone do that to you? Okay, never mind. She clearly, let's look at her face. Have you had anyone ever do that to you? They call you,
ring the bell, come in.
I don't. Oh, wow, ring the bell, come in. That's scary. 4 a.m.
Yes, and ringing the bell for an hour. That's obsessive.
Yeah, when you ring the bell for an hour, that's obsessive.
And nobody's coming, and we're in the house.
I mean, I hear more stories of women being that way.
No, man, yeah.
You're hot? You're talking about women. We hear more stories of women because I just know more stories of women. And I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's just talk high school. I'm gonna talk high school. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I'm gonna tell y'all a story right now. Pot them hoochies, daddy shorts on her. Okay, oh my God. Oh my God. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna be real honest here. Because this is bad on my part, but I'm gonna tell you, because when you're young, you don't think about this. Mm-hmm. But this is me. This is true story. I was in high school, senior. This is my first husband. We ended up getting married. But I remember at one point, he wasn't like, I realized that maybe he might have been talking to other people. And I was like, wait a second. No. Because at that time, I'm full disclosure, I was in virgin status. And he was the cherry popper. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now I was out of high school because I actually graduated high school, but I knew from high school. So this is like afterwards. But here's the point. this is what I'm trying to say. We're gonna get into all the details. I remember discovering that he was dating other people, so maybe it wasn't as serious as me. And I was like, oh no, we ain't gonna go that way. Had a friend that worked in the attendance office, okay? And I would think this is part of the craziness.
But you was young.
I was young, but here's the thing. I had to train myself after a while not to think like this, because I was like, oh no, he's not breaking up with me. He's not talking to other people. In my head, I was like, this is not happening. You're not leaving me. Girl, let me tell you what I did. I got to the attendance office where my friend was, got all the classes, because they had this black and white notebook, and they wrote in there who wanted to have sex with him. I got all their classes. Now, this is a little crazy, but I ain't gonna lie to you. This got me married, though, but let's not talk about that. I went to every class, knocked on the door, and the teachers opened the door and say, what is it? Act like I had a pass. I was like, can I see such and such? And it was like, do you have a pass? I was like, yes. Ran up in the class and punched her straight in the face. It was like, don't talk to my man. Yes, I did. It had to be about 6 girls like that. I really did. Now, that's crazy, right? And now, I think of it as funny now, but it wasn't funny to me then. And I was dead serious. I was dead serious. And when I tell you, he asked me, he called up and said, are you telling people that we're together? Did you fight people? I said, oh, no. I didn't fight nobody.
You ain't getting in trouble?
I didn't.
Crazy.
Girl, no, I got suspended. I didn't care. Girl, I said, no, I didn't. But see, what I'm saying is there's people, I was young then, but there's people on that level who are doing that now as they're grown. And I remember feeling. That feeling. I remember feeling when I argued with him, when I can still feel it now, like, I don't feel that about him, but I'm saying I can remember the feeling. When I argued about him, I felt sick to my stomach. I felt like the world was going to end. Yeah. And it made me think, do you outgrow that? Yeah. Do you mature?
Depends. There's emotional intelligence is something that needs to be intentionally practiced, I believe. Like through relationships, you start to realize like what's appropriate. When I argue, these are our boundaries. You start to grow, you start to mature. It's totally separate. You could be a whole doctor, lawyer, engineer, pharmacist, entrepreneur. You can have all the professionalism that you can and still lack emotional intelligence. Think about it. Ted Bundy was a lawyer and a freaking social.
This is true.
Sociologist.
And I say that because
he lacked emotional intelligence.
Yeah, I said that because
through being ostracized.
Right. And I said that because that was the behavior of an 18-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
Which is normal, yeah.
But of course, when you get older, you behave different. But I know some people that still feel possessive like that.
Yeah, I just experienced it. Sure.
And I feel like, I think that's some of the problems where we feel like if someone leaves you and they're with somebody else, I feel like the girl wants to fight. The girl wants to do this because she doesn't know what to do, because she doesn't know what to think. I feel like if the sex is really good, she's really bugging out.
Because of oxytocin.
Right. But if the sex is not that good, did you ever notice women, like we don't talk about this, but when the sex
I did that.
Well, yeah, when the sex is not that good, do you notice that even if they love them, the breakup is smoother? Yeah. They're like, oh, okay. It's over. I'm sad. I cried a little bit, but it's over. But you ever watch women when
I was hurt, but I was very hesitant. Every time I wanted to pick up the phone, I was like, yeah, do I really want that?
Okay. You see that?
I was like, I was hurt because I loved him and it wasn't the best at all.
Right, but you loved him, but you were able to get over it faster.
I was able to detach faster.
That's a better word.
Because I was hurt over it. I was crying. I was in that bed.
You're crying, but it's the 30 days, like you said. In 30 days, you were able to function.
I was able to start waking up without thinking about him. He wasn't the first thing I woke up to. You know how that when you wake up, yes. There's a pattern and a behavior that we develop that our brain has emotionally attached to.
So let's be honest.
Pattern is what I'm really talking about, breaking that.
Have you ever had someone that was great and it took a little longer? Like you're like, shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's still people that I'd be like, man, that shit hurt. I'm cool now with them.
But you're like, ooh, ouch.
I'd be like, nigga, that hurt. Can I say nigga?
Yeah, you can say nigga. She said nigga.
I think I asked that last time.
That's okay. See, that's what I'm saying. So.
Yeah, but that was because the sex was amazing, the chemistry was amazing.
It's a chemical and
it was just, yeah.
So what do you think about men who go from woman to woman? Do you think it's because they lack emotional attachment? I'm asking the guys, because I know there's some guys listening. I want to know from you guys. Oh wait, let me see a comment right here. So he had your oxy high. Yes, some people can have your oxy high. I think he's asking you. He had her oxy high, so she had a hard time. So I'm asking you guys, when you some of y'all that go from woman to woman, are you really attached to that woman? Is there like, does the good sex keep you guys, or is it different for you guys? Is it different from women? Could y'all have good sex with a woman and just move to the next woman and move to the next woman and not think about her anymore? I want to know if
they marry that bitch.
You think they marry her when it's like really good?
Really good sex. I think.
So you think really good sex makes a man get married? Guys, somebody answer that. Does really good sex make you consider marriage?
Also, she's not a pressure type of person. It's easy. I think
somebody better answer me. I need to know if any of you guys think that really good sex. So where's in his crazy? No, but for real, Al, I know you're listening. Do you think? You think so? So the women here are saying that really good sex. Yup. Oh wow. You said yup. Wow. So good vagina skills can get a man to marry you?
You heard that?
Wow.
Yeah, she said she didn't know how to cook, clean.
Okay, I have another guest that's here. She said she didn't know how to cook or clean, but she sure know how to throw down the vagina. And he married her. And y'all were married for 28 years. Now, what'd you say, Al?
That's special.
That is I'm in stuck mode now. I'm just like, okay. I'm getting my Yoni A game together. Because what are we saying here? I'm really curious because it's a secret notion in women's heads sometimes that is true. But what my curiosity is it an art? Because if you gave the good coochie too fast, then do they see it a different way? Or do you have to give it at the right timing, use it the right way, and then they think of it that way? Or does it not matter? Is this good coochie make them think, let me stay with her?
I think it's just the chemistry of the sexual between the two people. Because one person could think I got trash sex, and the next person could think I got amazing sex.
This is a whole nother topic. You know what? This is personal singer, not professional singer. I really believe when a person has trash sex, I just don't think the other person is getting good sex from them. I think sex is trash all the way across the board. You don't?
The other person?
Yeah, so if we slept with the same person and I said the sex is trash, like I think them having sex with you is gonna be trash too. You saying that it could be good?
I've heard.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking, but no one's ever said I had.
No, I ain't saying you had it. I said him.
I know, but
I didn't say you.
I always wonder if, like, one day a guy could give you tired. He's drunk.
I don't know. This is not professional singing because professional answer is different. Non-professional answer for me is like, I feel like if your dick is trash, your dick is trash. Oh, because I think that's why if it's trash dick and we were together and we broke up, I'm not thinking about you more because I think the next person's getting trash dick. But if we have good sex, I'm like, damn, she's really getting it. Oh my God. Okay. But he's a dog. But shit, I know when she is there, she is getting. I don't know.
Then why is the other bitches going crazy over this dude that, why is the other chick?
So you don't think women, so I really feel like sometimes women pretend for reasons. Does he have money? Because I watch a whole bunch of women pretend like everything is all good for money. Because you, like I said, keep saying,
and she was hardcore, going hard and heavy. I was like, you really want that trash thing? Like that was the thought process. And I wanted to say to her, did you really want that trash thing? Like, really, you want to get.
I feel like some women's agendas are different.
Yeah.
I think that they excuse them. But see, again, let me say this. I feel like we don't talk enough about how women cheat. We don't talk enough about women cheat because women get away with a lot of cheating.
So talk about it.
I'm going to talk about it. I love Al. He's like,
I don't do it.
I really feel like you said you cheat?
I cheated.
Now or cheated when you did cheat with your 20? So she's okay. So you can't see her face. So she's this good. She is admitting that in her 28-year marriage that she cheated. Did you cheat because he cheated, or you cheated because?
I cheated because I was looking for something different.
She said she cheated because she was looking for something different. I love your honesty.
So in other words, whatever he wasn't giving her at home, she felt she could get outside the home.
And I got it.
She said, yeah, and she got it. And even though they were married, did he ever find out?
Yes, I told him.
Oh, damn. Hold on. You are.
So my question. So I have a question. I like that honesty.
I don't
like
know if
that
y'all heard
honesty.
this. Hold on one
It's
minute. I
all
gotta
right.
take a sip because that's too much for me. That was just too much fucking honesty. And I got wait. Because I can't swallow that. Hold on. He did not find out. She was married to him for 28 years.
Mhm.
She said she cheated because something that she was missing and she got it. But she told him. Now, what made you tell him?
I told him because I wanted him to.
Hold on, come a little closer. They don't have to see your face.
No, I wanted him to give me what my friend was giving me.
Oh.
And he wasn't giving me, he wasn't pleasing me in that area. So I told him that I was getting it somewhere else because he wasn't satisfying me in that area.
I don't know if y'all remember this. I said something to y'all before. I said that women usually cheat because they're missing something. So if you just listen to this, she's married to her husband 28 years. She stepped out because he wasn't giving her something, and clearly it was a sexual nature. But she ended up telling her husband about it because she said, because basically she really didn't want to cheat, but she was cheating because she had a desire. So she said, hey, I'm cheating on you. I need you to do what he's doing so I can stop cheating.
I told him before what I wanted him to do.
And he didn't do it.
He didn't do it. So I cheated. And then I told him I cheated. But he did step up and start doing it.
Oh,
after
wow.
I cheated and I told him about it.
So he stepped up his game.
So I have a question then.
Yes.
So how come when a woman cheats, right, like she just said, is because she was missing something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when a man cheats, he's a dog.
Because men don't admit. It's because
I think that, right, because I think
men
that.
don't admit that.
I think, just like she said, like Holly was saying, I think that is because you never got the conversation. The man said, I'm missing you doing this. Because a lot of times, if you tell a woman in a relationship that she's not doing something, she will go get it. Do you ever, if you call a woman
Not always, not always,
but I'm saying a lot of times they will. Oh, look, the eyeballs came out. Yeah. I think that's why that a lot of women feel that way, because a lot of times, not always, you're right, Al, not always, but a lot of times if you tell your woman, hey, I want you to do this, she usually will try to comply to that to please you because she thinks you're going to go out and get it somewhere else. Yeah. It doesn't work all the time, but I think that's the general consensus of why when a man does it, it's like whatever. And then a lot of times, women are a lot pleasing. If a woman's out there doing everything for you and you still cheat, that's the thing. I don't hear many men saying, I cheated because you didn't do this. Like, you didn't suck my dick, so I cheated. Because the woman be like, okay, well, how many times a day do you want to suck? Like, I'm going to do it. I'm just curious.
Now, when women withhold...
Oh, don't get quiet. I'm not quiet now.
When women withhold sex, I do feel that...
That's wrong.
Men should be allowed. Unfortunately, I don't get mad. When I hear stories when they be like,
okay,
she withheld sex for 6 months or a year, that's bullshit.
Okay, Holly is saying, and I agree with her. She said women should not withhold sex. I've always said to y'all, I find it extremely disturbing. Yeah. Even if it's an argument, when women say, okay, you can't get none, even if it's for a week, they are dead ass wrong. Yeah. One of the tools you should not use, do a different punishment. I don't care. You giving up the vagina. If you don't want to suck dick for the week, then fine, but you should give up the vagina. I just do not think that you should withhold sex. And I've always thought that was wrong. I think you're asking for something when you do that, because I would never like that. Hold on. Why you couldn't just as him do what you was missing? Oh, no, don't hide. We need to see her. Oh, no, we already agreed that because she didn't even want to talk. I know. She said before she didn't even want to talk. So getting her to talk was big. So I'm proud of her for talking. And guys, the only reason I won't make her be seen because she just said she didn't even want to talk. And the fact that she talked and so the truth, that's a real thing to say. Like, for somebody to sit here and tell y'all what a woman's thinking, saying, hey, I had a 28-year marriage, and I stepped out, and the reasons why, I think that's big. So I'm not going to pressure her to show her face. All I want is truth. So for a person to admit that, and we can discuss that, she's not ready for the face thing. She's just not ready for that.
She said they did go to therapy. I was asking her.
Oh, she says they did go. Oh, so he was blackmailed. Oh my God. Oh my, she's laughing, Tyrone. She said they did go to therapy. Hold on. Wait, that's kidnapping the coochie. So, okay, back to what let me reiterate what I was saying before. Free that coochie. I got it. So what I was saying before is we all of us agree that a woman on our end, it's very wrong for a woman to use sex as a tool to manipulate in the sense of, if you don't do this, I'm not going to give you any because you made me mad. I don't think that. Now, on the upside of that, I don't see anything wrong with saying, because a girl will do this. Babe, I will give you some, I'm going to do the thing that you like. I'm going to give you some extra sex if you buy this for me or something like that in a relationship. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, I don't think there's nothing wrong with doing extra acrobatic things to get some, you know what I'm saying, some little gifts. I don't see nothing wrong with that because you're going to get the regular sex, but I'm just saying, like, say you like anal and I don't really like to do anal. And I say to you, babe, I really want that bag so you can hit this booty like maybe twice this week. I don't say there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't. That's okay. That's okay. Because I'm not denying you sex.
Nothing wrong with that.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's wrong to pimp the coochie inside the relationship in that sense. Now, it's wrong to pimp the coochie if you're not in the relationship. I call that you're for the streets. That's what I call it. I do. I think that's a privilege of being in a relationship or married. I don't see anything wrong with being married saying, like, I'll tell you right now, when I was married, I did extra shit on payday. I don't give a fuck what nobody tell. I'm going to tell the truth. When I was married, I'll tell you right now, I knew when that paycheck was coming. Dinner was really nice. Lighting was nice. I was smiling. And I was like, yeah, I need that credit card tomorrow to go shopping, boom. Now, will any of you men think that's wrong? If you're married or in a relationship and the woman does a little extra something, so she can get her way? I mean, isn't that the way of the relationship? No, I thought that's the way you're supposed to do. I'm just asking the guys if they think there's something wrong with that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but it shouldn't have to be on payday. It should be because it feels good, right? And because
it do feel good to have it on payday. It feel better,
right? Payday. Okay. So what does a man do when for years he's telling his wife, right? Yo, this is what I like. You know what I like. I'm buying you all the stuff that I like to see you in, so I like what I like, and they never get that. Then what
I think for one, and this is realistically, because this is one of the things that the women will listen. I'm sorry, ladies, you're not gonna like this answer. Definitely some counseling needs to go on, because if he's saying it and she's not receptive to it, so his duty at this point is to say we need to go to counseling, set it up. Once he goes to counseling and she's still not doing it, let me be quiet right now. Look.
Well, what if she's avoiding the counseling, or she says, okay, we can go to counseling, but it has to be somebody that I like, that I want to use, and they never set it up. Then what?
And do you see my face when it went down? So what he does, we have to take accountability. And I'm not condoning cheating, but what I'm saying is, if a man has been telling you for months, he has put a year in and telling you,
Try years.
Okay, if he's been telling you for years and you don't reply, and then he tells you, let's go to counseling, he tries to set up counseling, you say you want to do it, you don't set it up, I'm going to tell you right now, if you sat in my chair in front of me on a professional side, you're not going to like this, but I'm not going to curve my tongue. I'm going to tell you, you have to take responsibility for some of the action that happened. So if you find out that he stepped out, we can fix this. But now, the thing is, don't be mad at him because he's been trying for years to get you to do what he likes. And then you just refuse to do it.
That's generally when men cheat too, a lot.
And the problem is, I'm going to say to you, you can't be mad for his actions. I understand that you're married, but come on now. He's been trying for years. What is the problem here?
Right.
Like, that's not right.
Right. So what happens now that he decides, okay, I don't want this relationship no more, and then he's gone? Now she's willing to do everything.
That's always.
Is she really willing to do everything, or is
well that's the story, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's the story, but you know that's a lie. Because here's the thing.
For a
now
moment,
she's saying
for
she's
a
willing
moment.
to, no.
So he goes back for a moment, right?
Right.
And for a month or two, everything is fine and
Kosher,
good.
and then she slacks off again.
And then she goes back to the same routine.
Well, then guess what? After she does that, he goes back and he learns that. Then he should learn his lesson. She's not going to really change, so it's time to move on.
Her change isn't intentional.
Yeah, her change is bullshit. And I'm going to call bullshit when shit is bullshit. Shit stinks. And that shit stinks. Because the thing is, if he goes back and she does it for a temporary time and then goes back, she's just pacifying him. And we're not here for pacifying. That's not what it's about. You too old and we've been too long into this relationship for you to do that. And that's it. So don't get mad when somebody comes along, because the truth is this. And I don't know, I know some of the women are not going to like this, but here's the truth. There's more women than men. And there is going to be a woman out there that's going to appreciate him paying bills, taking care of her, and she's going to do all the flips that he wants because she understands the value of what he brings to the table. You don't understand the value, then I don't understand what's going on. But there's something, because then if you can't do it, if it's really against what you like, and here's the thing, let me say this, only if there's not a physical problem for you. Like, for instance, let's just say this, some men like anal sex, but some women can't handle anal sex because what it does, it makes their behind bleed or it hurts. Now, you can't expect her to give you anal sex if her butt is bleeding. So now you're being an ass.
Right.
So you're going to have to find something else.
Right.
That's different. I don't condone that. Now, if it's physically going to harm the person, then we can't do that. Then you just got to get over your anal obsession, and then you're wrong. That's it. But if it's not going to physically harm the person, let's just say he wants more affection. He wants you to give him some head. Come on now. I'm just saying, it's 30 days in a month. You can't spend at least once a week sucking a dick. I mean, come on.
How about just a simple hug and a kiss when I'm walking the door?
Oh, wow. Tell her thanks for sharing her story. Oh, Tyrone says thanks for sharing the story.
There's some things that men deal with, and it seems so simple.
That's
that
crazy.
They don't even want to talk about it because they can't believe it's happening. You know,
Here's
but
the
women
thing.
say that men don't talk.
You're right, Al. If it's a hug and a kiss, she needs to, and here's the thing, and I'm going to say this is why counseling is very important, because she may come from a childhood and relationship where parents and people did not show her how to do affection and loving and the things. But if you're having a conversation with her and saying, let's get counseling, and she does not do it, then what happens next is on her, and these consequences have to be met.
Or I would suggest the 5 love languages. If she doesn't understand your love language and you don't know hers, then you guys won't really know how to please each other. Because if she understands that love and like affection impacts him or her or whoever it is, the love languages I think is really important to know.
But you know what? I have a client right now.
But I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, I have a client right now, and this is what's going on. She got kids and different stuff, and she stopped being less affectionate. And when I was sitting down with her, because she just put all her energy into the kids, so she kind of forgot about her husband in a sense. So what happens is with this client, I advised her, I said, now, here's the thing. I want you to make it you can open another one if you want to. I want you to make it a conscious effort. I need you to even put it on your phone. When your husband is sitting there, I want you to walk up to him for no reason and hug him. It's not about you. It's about him. And this is what a relationship is about. See, this is what we don't talk about too, is people think that relationships are supposed to be easy. They're not. Right. So sometimes you got to do something for the person. It has nothing to do with you, but because you love this person, you got to say to yourself, I'm going to put a reminder in my phone. Today is Wednesday. Hug my husband. Because I never got trained to do that. So now I got to train myself to be affectionate because this is what he needs. So you want him, and this is the thing with women. We want men to do everything that we want to make us happy. Hello, women. We got to do things to make them happy even when we ourselves are like, oh, that's not me. I don't hug. No. If he wants hugging, then tell yourself, today I'm going to get up. Let me just go kiss my husband, give him a hug. It's not about you. You don't have to feel good about it. It's about him feeling good. And you should say, I want to do this because he does all these things for me, and I want to make him happy and feel a certain type of way. So it doesn't have to make you feel gooky inside. You just do it for him so he can feel the way that he needs to feel to continue with the relationship in himself. That's it. But we're
So
so stuck on all the time. It has to be about me, me, me. We're selfish. Me, me, me. I gotta feel good doing it, and I think that's wrong.
So in our communities, how do we change that dynamic? What resources are available that would allow women to come together so they could have these conversations about the way they should treat men properly, and maybe they'll see the change in men that cheat?
This is the thing. I feel like just like we're talking about on the show, I feel like when it gets shared, people are listening. It's people who are being realistic and really saying it's relationship people. And it's hard because there's a lot of relationship people out there to make money sell you a story. Yeah. I don't sell you a story. I'm going to tell you that a relationship is work. It's some days, I literally tell anyone that's getting married, some days you want to wake up, look at your spouse and be like, God, I can't stand you, but I love you, but I can't stand you.
And I'll be honest, Al, I've been a part of premarital counseling. You know, a lot of my stuff has been like,
Right.
got my whole body spiritually based.
Yes.
And I've been a part of women empowerment groups that have been focused on how to be a better wife and how to be a better, even a better spouse, but even also how to prepare yourself to be someone of quality for someone of quality. And so there's a lot of groups and peer like support groups for women who, a lot of them have been faith-based though, for me.
Right.
Like Kingdom Single, Kingdom Wife, Kingdom Woman. There's like a whole series of different people online that I've joined a lot of different podcast groups. We've done book clubs.
Oh, there's so many books too.
And book clubs where we speak about it every week and we do a workbook. So there's a lot of things on how to become a better
and what
wife.
I think, Holly, was really important, we have, as a Black community, we have to stop thinking that counseling is a weakness. I feel like somehow there's a stereotype that if you went to therapy, there is something wrong with you.
You know where it comes from? Our parents saying that.
Oh, I know. Our parents, you crazy? Don't be like those white people.
Don't be letting the people know what's going on in our house.
Yes. And I think that is.
Come on now.
I think
grandma.
No, right. And I think that's the biggest problem because as we say therapy, this is the resistance. And I think therapy is a really good thing when you have a third person looking at you and talking it through and helping you, the two of you communicate so you can understand each other. And I think therapy is a big thing because also when you lack affection, when you go to therapy, it shows you where that came from and how you can change it because where you got that idea from. I have met, one of the things I'm going to say is that my girls have taught me that they loved about me is that one of the things I told my kids from when they were younger, I felt that they were very pretty. You know, everybody likes to say their kids is pretty, but you know, I ain't going to go on there. Some people they say it, but whatever. Anyway, but I always told my girls, I prepared them. I said, listen, prettiness is a plus and a curse. And I told them the truth. Do you understand that people will not like you because you're pretty? People will like you because you're pretty, but they just want to be around you for pretty. Some people will be true friends. Some people will just hate you for the sheer fact that you're pretty, but you got to love yourself. So I taught my kids, no matter what somebody's saying, you got to love yourself. So I always told them when they were younger, as much as I could, tell them you are strong, you're intelligent, and you are gorgeous, and you are pretty, and you are smart. You could do anything you want. My kids told me when they were in college that that's one of the most important things I used to tell them when they're little because they met so many people in college whose parents never told them that they were pretty. So when the first guy comes around and says to them that they're pretty, they are sprung. Mm-hmm. My kids already said they knew they was pretty, so you couldn't use pretty. That wasn't it. You wasn't going to trap me up. Shit, I know I'm pretty now. What else? Now, what else are you trying to tell me to get me to do all this stuff? Because that don't mean nothing to me. But you got to understand the psyche of a person. If they never were told that they were pretty, what happens as an adult woman when a man comes along and tells that? It is a manipulation that can happen there. And a man sometimes sees that, the insecurity, the low self-esteem, because they don't know it because no one's ever told them that. And that goes both ways. If a man was told that he won't be nothing all the time when he's younger, his pattern is, I ain't going to be shit. Right. If you tell a man you ain't gonna be shit like your father all the time, it's hard for him to climb out of that. We got to be careful about words. I think one of the biggest things that we did as a Black community that is so wrong is when we used to teach people sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt. That's a lie.
Well, you know, the word tells us that life and death is in the power of the tongue. So you
Thank
can
you.
life by what you speak, or you could kill somebody by what you speak. So you
The
got to be
whole
very
entire
careful.
spirit.
That's right.
But what happens is we went with that other narrative. So people act like what people said did not affect people. And then we pretend like the effects, we have no counseling. Then you tell them, oh, you weak if you falling into that. You weak if you tell me your feelings. If I'm a man and say, hey, I'm upset about this. What kind of fucking man are you? You're a weak man. So damn. So this is the problem. We don't allow that. We don't allow expression.
It's also part of the reason why Black men die a lot earlier. Culturally,
Exactly.
not allowed to. White men cry.
You know what's funny? And I'm going to be honest because I know we're going to close up soon. And I want us to all, when they're listening to this on the replay, I want everybody to listen to whoever's listening to it now. Let's be honest. I'm going to tell an honest thing. It's hard for me, it's not hard to watch a man cry. I'm going to be honest. It is not hard for me to watch a man cry if his mother died at a funeral. Even when he's angry. If I see a man cry, like if he's real mad and the tear rolls in his eye, I'm like, oh shit, he trying to hold that shit in. He real angry. But I'm going to tell you what's hard, and this has happened to me. I felt a little uneasy, and I had to check my own self. When a man cries over something that's emotional, that to me doesn't, I'm like, wait, are you crying over this? Like he has a sad story. He has no relation to the person. He has a sad story, and he goes, that makes me cry. I heard that. Did not bother you? But when I heard that, the first second, see, and here's the thing. My first, and I'm being honest, my first initial feeling wasn't touching. I was lost. I was like, wait, what is going on? I felt uncomfortable. I was like, wait a minute. And then I had to check myself and go, wait, singer. No. That's not the right feeling. It's okay for him to do that, be attached to his feelings.
Okay,
but I ain't gonna lie to you. My first initial thing was like, I want to get out of here. This is weird.
So if that was your initial reaction, spirit, I'm telling you that man picked up on that.
And that's why I'm saying, but no, guess what? He did, but guess what? One thing about me that makes me different, I own that. I addressed that.
Right.
I had a conversation and said, I'm so sorry. And he said to me, what, do you think it's bad when a man cries? And I said, you know what? I honestly don't like that. I don't, but my initial shock, this is what happened. And that conversation changed a lot of things for me. Because here's the thing, too. He didn't get mad. He didn't get embarrassed. He wanted to have a conversation about it. He wanted to address me and say, why do you feel that way?
Right.
And
that's maturity. That's what real men do.
That was a real turn on. Because that was a real grown-ass man that said, wait, babe, why are you feeling weird about my tears and me emotionally expressing myself? Well, you need to discuss that with me. What's going on? And I was like, oh, you calling me out. Because that's not very grown of me. Okay. Let's have a discussion. Right there, he changed it. That became more of an alpha male than the alpha males that act like alpha males, because that made me feel like, wow, you are a grown ass man and this is real. Because a grown man will teach you. A woman doesn't know everything. He didn't decide to be angry. He didn't get mad. He didn't get an attitude. He saw it as an opportunity saying, you too grown for that. Let me teach you something. And I had to humble myself and say, well, goddamn, this is a little sexy though. Because you're teaching me. But I also feel your emotion. With that, I want to just take by what you're saying, going back to what Al's questions was about the person that wasn't changing. And I think there's also a level of defensiveness that people have when someone is coming to them to say, hey, I'm unhappy with this. I need this to be changed. Instead of having that willingness to change, there's a wall up. And there's a possibility that that individual, as opposed to being, this is a teaching moment. Al's telling me what, or not Al, might not have been you, but this individual is trying to explain to me what they're not happy about. And that could also be a residual effect of somebody saying, hey, this needs to be changed. As opposed to changing, like your husband did,
It was like,
I think that, and this is what I'm saying. That's a sign of, this is the thing when we're talking about this. I love this because it's showing you, because even as much as I know, I'm in this field. And one of the things I always will do is I always talk about, even when I have my growth moments, being in the field on a professional side, reading a book tells me what I'm supposed to do. But literally that was a teaching moment for me because when you're in it, you're like, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? So I was, you still have a reaction. And I admit to it because I was just like, it wasn't like a bad thing, but he could see it on my face like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, and I realized it's okay. But that's because at the end of the day, my upbringing was men don't cry. Men don't show affection in that type of way. I was always taught that as a child and as an adult. It's like, what is going on? But I did, like I said, I gave you 2 exceptions. I understood a man crying like if his mother died, his sister died, someone close, the grandmother died. I got that. And the other one, which was very interesting, I wanted y'all to make sure y'all heard me. The other exception to me that I felt comfortable with a man crying is when he's angry. I got that. And that says a lot about how I was brought up. It was acceptable to me if a man is angry and he does a tear, that means he's on the verge of explosion to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get that. And I had to check myself in that. I was like, oh, wow, why do I get the crying for emotion? On the negativity, I got it, but I didn't understand it on the positives zone. But I definitely understood it and felt that it was okay on the violent side. You see what I'm saying? Us as Black people, we have to be careful because we're very accepting to violent behavior. We are accepting to, hey, this girl slept with my man, let me kick her ass. We're like, all the women like, yeah, girl, kick her ass. We're accepting to that. But I tell you one thing, we're not accepting to, if someone says, hey, my husband cheated, but I became friends with his mistress. We're all like, wait, what? You see, that's weird. Yeah, that's what we say. That's a white woman shit. We like, what the fuck is going on? So we have to understand that we are trained.
You might want to understand why he got the mistress. So let me find out.
Oh, we don't try to understand why he got the mistress. Like, see, that's not what's going on. So those are just things to explore. Which goes on. We condone violence. And I think also with the breakup, this is why it's so hard for us. We don't accept rejection. I think we're never taught how to deal with rejection.
Well, that rejection has a lot to do with a lot of underlying emotions that we grow up with as children. I'm one of those people who come from a household where my mother, I think I was probably in my 30s the first time my mother told me that she loved me. Okay. But there was no emotions, no affection, none of that. And it was about you. I was a father at the age of 15. So she's like, you making babies, you can't live in my house. Right. So I had to fend for myself. And of course, my father wasn't around. Okay. I come from a big family. When I tell you, I come from a big family, and we used to gather every weekend, but there was no emotional hugs, no love, none
So you
of
understand what I'm
it
saying?
was about do what I say. You kids go sit in the corner, keep your mouth shut. If you get too loud, you're going outside. And when you go outside, don't get into nothing or we're going to whoop your ass.
And now you
Okay?
get what I'm saying.
And that was the love that we were shown. But see, I
So
made
you
a
just said, because he said I don't know if you heard him, he said his mom did not tell him until he was 30 that she loved him.
Yeah, my mom just started saying it too. And it feels weird.
Yeah, Holly just said her mom just started saying it and it feels weird.
And I'm like, since when we do that at? Yeah.
Right. But you know what's so crazy about that? When I started having my children, I made a conscious effort
Me too.
to not let them experience what I experienced.
Yeah.
I kiss my sons.
Yeah.
I hug my daughter. I talk to them. I tell them how much I love them, how special they are. I see their gifts. Okay. I just really, really reverence them in all areas of their life. You know, does that make them great kids? To me, yes. To me, yes. To other people, oh, your daughter got an issue, your son got it. Yeah, but they mine. And I love them. And I know them. And I know
And
why.
I love that, Al. I love that you're saying that. And you know what? Everything is, I was gonna say, generation curses to being broke is every generation. So what you're trying to do is break the generation curse of what your family, in the sense that y'all don't show affection that way. So you're just trying, that way they'll be better with their kids and their kids and their kids. And it's funny because even on my own personal self, I had to learn certain things. Like I tell my kids they're beautiful, I tell them they're smart stuff. But one of the things with me is that my parents, when growing up, we were, definitely upper middle class, but my mom loved to save and stuff. So she never liked to spend money. And I used to have issues. Like I have to tell you, I had fights in school because my Adidas had 4 stripes. Now Adidas do not supposed to have 4 stripes. My parents had the money to buy it, but my mother refused to spend that much money on Adidas. Garage sales from my friends at school. Yes. She just said, how did you say her mom went to garage sales and she said she couldn't win her friends?
And my mom was an executive.
It doesn't make it was a struggle. So what happened?
And they don't understand the fights you had to go through.
Oh my God, it hurt. It was a frustration. I was angry. I was a lot of anger growing up because at those times it was Pathmark. I was in New York. It's called Pathmark.
No frills
section. But the boxes are black and white. It's not like now. Because right now, you can go to Walmart and buy Walmart brand and nobody teases you.
Right.
They come over and they see. No, you want to know how bad it is? Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. My mother was so cheap.
Oh my God.
That we got the black and white Frosted Flakes. Yep. But then she was so cheap that we had powder milk. Do you ever drink this day? So did you ever have cereal with powder milk? That's water. That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
I was so angry.
Or carnation cream.
Carnation. When I tell you I was angry growing up, it's anger issues that I still have to deal with to this day. Like I get real irritated.
How you take your kid to a garage sale in their own neighborhood and then tell them to wear their friends'
clothes? That would make me angry, Holly. So you got what I'm saying. So here's the thing. Here's where the damage came. My love for my children in the very beginning, because I got married at 20. So by 25, I had 2 kids and all this other stuff. So here's the thing. My love for my kids was designer everything. And I see some of that, like, later on I kind of fixed some things, but I was young. Mm-hmm. So since my mother didn't do that, I busted my butt.
Right. You go overboard.
Getting my kids everything that they wanted. And it had to be top-notch, name, brand, everything.
Everything, right.
And that was more important to me than anything. I didn't care how many hours at work. And it's like one of my other kids, the second child, she really wanted more time. And in those younger years, I didn't give her the time that I should have gave her, because my main thing was, wait, I don't want to be like my mom. I'm going to give y'all everything. I swear to goodness, my kids wore true religion jeans. They had the top phones. They had real gold. I didn't care. I worked my butt off. But I noticed later on, I had to do some damage control because I wasn't concerned with spending time. I was all like, oh, you want to go here? Here's some money. And you want to do this? Here's some money. Everything with me was money, 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 money. And one of them was like, I didn't care about the money. It was really weird to me because she didn't like name brands. I was like, what do I do with this child? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, she really wanted more time. And I was just like, well, wait. And that's what my mother gave me. My mother gave me plenty of time. My mother took us to museums. She did all this, and I hated it because I just wanted the things. Mm-hmm. So what happened for me was I had to learn that the thing that my mother gave me was very important to one of my children. And I really wasn't paying attention because I'm thinking I remembered my personal feelings. And it was hard that through therapy, I learned that I was really projecting on my child. So I was doing what I wanted my mother to do with me when I was younger. And the thing that my other daughter wanted, my second daughter wanted, was more of what my mother did. And I hated it. Like, so I didn't want to, I was like, oh God, like, I was like, Mom, could you please? My mom was my PTA president. My mom was all of this stuff. She was always around. I was like, could you please get a job? No, see how you say that was nice? I don't see it as nice. Other people, because they didn't have that, thought that was nice. Every time I turned around, I saw my mother. But I was pissed because she wouldn't buy things.
I had closed order.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't have either one. Well, my mother always made sure that we had nice things. They weren't designer stuff, but we had nice things. But she worked, you know what I mean? And if she had to come to school, it was a problem. It wasn't for no PTA, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it was a problem if she had to come to the school, period. So I didn't even want to see my mother in the school.
Yeah, and the other thing that my mom did to me, we weren't allowed to get in trouble. That would get you an ironing cord beating. Like if you got in trouble at school, and a principal called or something, you're gonna be. And so even if somebody, because those people who would tease me about my Adidas, the first time I fought them, then I'm getting in trouble at home because the teacher called. So it was a lot of anger for me because I couldn't express myself. Now I'm gonna tell you what happened with that. What happened with that? Let's speed it up. My kids, let me tell you something. You didn't want to fight them because I was the whole total type of mom. I ain't gonna even lie to you. If my kids called me, text me, tell me, said, "Oh, somebody did something," I'm like, "Let's get in there. I was gung ho. I was a little ghetto fabulous. It wasn't even living. I was like, beat them up. I'll be there in school to pick you up afterwards. Yeah. Where's their work? They suspended for how many days? I'm ready to fight the mother. It was crazy. And I had to calm down because, again, in this, I'm only saying these stories because they're entertaining, but I want y'all to hear the part because I know we're going to wrap up soon. What I'm saying these stories for, what's to take back from them, because it is entertaining, but what I wanted to show you was how you grow up does affect how you raise your children. Absolutely. And sometimes you project on your children and you don't even realize it. Absolutely. So sometimes you got to step back to break the curses, to break the stuff and tell, and that happens in relationships too, because we're saying about children, but what about the woman that hasn't had a child yet? You know where she finds that at? She stays with the man who just tells her she's beautiful, even though he's dogging her. She becomes easy prey. I call it low-hanging fruit. She has her legs open all the time because she didn't receive certain things. So that's why we have to be careful. What does it say? I had name brands, but not all the time. I was a Catholic school. Took money, went to the money went to the tuition. I understand. I got kicked out of Catholic school, and y'all gonna not believe why. This would make sense. I got kicked out of Catholic school because I wanted to play nurse and doctor, and they caught me. Ooh. I got kicked out, and here I am a certified sexologist, and I was a nurse. They kicked me out.
Well, you knew your calling back then.
Oh,
right?
I knew my calling back then. I got kicked the hell out because I was making the little boys take down their pants.
Woo.
I kept my clothes on. They kicked my butt. They gave me one chance. The third chance, they said, "Oh, she can't come to school no more." It was in the Bronx. It's a Bronx Catholic school. They said she got to go. Mm-mm. The nuns gave me a spanking with the ruler. Didn't make no difference. I had to go. It was during sleep time. Mm-hmm. I bribed them with a cookie. I was bad as shit. I was bad as shit. Oh my God. Shut up. My kids wasn't freaky though. These generational curses. My kids is not freaky. My kids don't do nothing I do. They be like this. They roll their eyes. They be like, "Oh, okay." If you mean, my daughter. My daughter's completely opposite of me. You would never know. You'd be like, "That's your mother?" She's very professional and conservative and everything. You'd be like, "Wait a minute, this is weird." Like, really? Amazing. Yeah, my other daughter's extremely rigid. I'm like, I be saying stuff like, "Hope your husband okay." I'm just saying. But no, all jokes aside, for real, what I wanted to show y'all was, we're joking. Al said a story, Holly said something, we all saying stuff, but taking accountability that you can break those. And sometimes look at your childhood, make sure that, that's why counseling is really good. But even if you don't want to go, kind of look at it and see how you deal with things, and you may be able to change some things. Let's see. We probably went to the same one and didn't even know it. Oh, okay. I got you. Yes, we probably went to the same school. But I just want everybody to look at that because it does affect you. The way you grow up, your relationship with your father, your mother, everything does affect us. We act like it doesn't, but it does. So let everybody just kind of look back and say, hey, what could I have changed? What could have changed out of my childhood I could do different? If it wasn't that your parents didn't hug you enough or say I love you, change that. It's never too late. It really isn't. Yeah, just please, take from this conversation and say, you know what, let me think about that.
Even in your breakups and even in your relationships.
Yes.
And, there's a whole bunch of stuff with trauma bonds and
trauma bonds is very serious. Trauma bonds, and I'm going to let it go because we're going over. And we can talk a little bit more about trauma bonds next week too. Trauma bonds are two people who deal with the same thing. That toxic man that you can't break yourself off because the sex is good? Trauma bonds. Yeah. He gives you this high. It's like a drug. He gives you highness because you feel like you're the chosen one, and he didn't let you, and you're like, oh, he's choosing me. Then he lets you down. And that's the low. And then guess what? You go back for the smoke, the high, and high he goes. because he's saying you're beautiful, I like you, you're chosen, and then he lets you down. And you are addicted to this high-low thing. And you got to be very careful with those. That's when you find women who say, he beats me because he loves me. I made him mad. Or it's this. But he chose me. Even though he cheats, he takes care of my bills. How many times have we heard on TV that it's like, how many times on TV or other things, they even do it now on TV, they say, how many basketball wives or football wives say, oh, that bitch thinks she got one on me. She doesn't, because really he pays the bills over here. He goes to church with me. I have the kids with him. He just gives her a little bit of money. I want us to think about what we're saying. So you get what I'm saying? You are basing yourself on how much he gives you should make you better, instead of how about respecting and treating you a certain way. But you're saying, oh, well, I'm above you because he pays all my bills. I live in the big house. He just pays for your condo.
What about the men? And this is a whole nother conversation.
Okay, we'll let you say
the men who think that because they are doing these things, that they are men of value, men of quality, that they actually deserve
let's tackle that next week. The men who feel like because they take care of you, then they're entitled to treat you a certain way.
Or to have more than one woman. I know a lot of men who feel like,
well, yeah, I take care of her so I can have more than one woman. We'll talk about that next week.
Well, to be honest with you, not to go into a full new topic, but men only will do things that you allow them to do. Yeah. So if you condone that behavior, they're going to continue to do it. If you put an end to it, believe me, they're not going to do it.
This is true. Let's go on that. That's good words to leave off on. Thank you, Al. It was a really good show. Everybody saying thank you, Al. And thank you so much for sharing and being honest. That just turned the top. I really love that, because a woman doesn't always tell the truth. So I appreciate you saying that, because a lot of times all people would say was, I was married for 28 years and it was all good. And I love when someone's honest, because y'all were able to heal from that and continue your marriage. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next week. I'm going to finish my drink. Oh, wait, I forgot to tell y'all. Look at my work today. Ooh, baby. Look at my work today. Look what happens when you look at these dollars. Somebody made it rain on me. Don't ask me what I did for the dollars. It's just a lot of them. Mind your business. With that, I'm going to wave my dollars goodbye. Bye-bye. You better wait. Let it rain. Make it rain. Look at these clean dollars. Damn.
Press trigger, me no press people button. I got my own, me no watch people suck.
You do voice out.
The niggas keep coming. Work in your world, none, yeah. Press trigger, me no press people button. Real atty when me pull up on something, yeah. White rice, yes, I'm me, call the mutton. Really hard, yeah, not fabricate money. Everything that's far, with the bra, can't be no side piece. I'm the main and the star. If he ain't on smoke, my you forget. A lot of y'all talk, how anybody can get. No rapping, me no want no rapping. Lord the chat, no action. Me no want no rapping, no rapping. Oh yeah, get them, wow. Get them, my girl, get them, shot. Get them, wow. When you get them good. Bitches love talk a lot, but couldn't walk in on your books. See the party shot from your walk.